Hello, welcome to A Bold and Distant Future. This is Roy here with the week of news. I'm joined today by our one of our favorite voices, Eddie. How you doing, Eddie?
Well, I'm here, and that's what counts.
Yeah, you're showing up, Eddie. You show up.
Sawadee ka, you know what I
I
mean,
really
right?
don't know. Well, this was an interesting week of news. There are a lot of things happening internationally, but one of the big stories was that we have a new pope
Yeah,
as of yesterday. And last week, or maybe just a few days ago, Donald Trump posted that picture of himself as the Pope.
ridiculous. Someone should not let him play with AI.
Yes, here it is. Yeah, Donald Trump, our president, posted this to his Truth Social page, and it is AI generated, everyone. So I do like to make sure that everyone knows that this is a faked image. But the fact that he would press send on this, and I don't know that he actually does it, I'm sure one of his henchmen, puts this out there for him. But what was he trying to say? He just thinks it's cute, funny? I don't know.
God's right hand man.
I guess so. Pointing with his finger up, it's about power. He wants to dominate power areas. He wants to sees himself as some kind of powerful deity. But I was thinking about the seven deadly sins, so I went that direction with it because if there's any person that is a poster child for the seven deadly sins, I would say this is the guy. So here they are. Here are the seven deadly sins, Eddie. Let's go through these together as a family and see what we think, where Donald Trump hits on these. The first one, what do we think about lust? Is he a lustful person?
Is this a one through 10 thing?
I don't
I give
know. I think
it
I would go either or. Yeah, 10. I would say that one, yes, he definitely is lust in his heart.
10. Well, apparently a little beyond his heart.
Yeah. So lust, no, you don't get that one. No pass on that one. Gluttony? What do we think about gluttony?
Have you seen him in his golf shorts? Excuse me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they make fun of him as if he has a bad diet, eating hamburgers and junk food, but I think he likes to chow down. I would say yes on gluttony as well.
Yeah,
Greed?
I give him a 10.
I would give him a 10 on gluttony. What about greed? How do we think about that one?
Well, I give him a 10.
I can't think, can't go higher than a 10. He's got that one covered. Sloth. Hmm. What do we think about sloth?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, he is pretty hardworking in his own devious way.
Yeah, he's pretty active.
So maybe there's one there. He hasn't slothed off yet or whatever. Wrath? Oh yeah, he's wrathful.
Wrath and envy together, because you think about the number of people he wants to get revenge on. It's like,
Oh yeah.
uh,
Yeah, he's got a
do
hit
something
list.
that crosses him, and pretty soon you're being investigated by the grand jury. Have we seen that at all? Numbers of times?
Yeah. Wrath, envy. He's very envious of anyone. I mean, this picture of him as the Pope is sort of an expression of his envy,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and pride. Yeah, he's got pride.
Like thinking about that in terms of the conclave, beating him out for the news yesterday. Top spot. I bet he was pissed off about that as he announced his UK car deal. Oh my
Exactly.
God.
Well, that was the list, but here are the opposites. The opposite of lust is chastity. No. Temperance. No. Charity. No.
No.
Diligence. Sloth and diligence, okay. He's got to, again, to be as good at
Say
being.
no on diligence too, because he waffles so frequently. I mean,
Mm,
one of the latest pieces is let's tax the rich. Where the hell did that come from in his platform?
hmm.
Did you read that yesterday?
No, I didn't see that. Is that like a new concept that's occurred to him?
Yeah, new concept that occurred to him. Um, Trying to get his, in quotes, big beautiful bill through, and I think it's just a scam, really, or a sham, really. not a scam. It's
Yeah.
just him coming up with a way to distract people to try to get the bill through because they think something else is going to happen and then it doesn't anyway because you know how he does the bait and switch
Oh,
so
yeah.
well.
Forgiveness? No, he's not a very forgiving person.
No,
Kindness?
no.
Well, he did pardon all those January Sixers, so maybe that's
Oh
sort
yeah,
of
good point.
maybe that was kind of a forgiveness move. I don't know. Kindness?
Pandering to his base.
Yeah. Kindness and humility. No, this guy's a scumball through and through. I don't know if I should say that. Am I going to get a visit from the Secret Service by saying that?
Maybe.
Maybe I'll edit that one out. Yeah, he does not pass the seven deadly sins test for me, so I'm going to delete that picture. This is what got me. Laura Loomer, our old friend Laura Loomer.
Looking for time in the spotlight.
Yes, she posted this after the announcement of the new pope, woke Marxist pope. And she even posted another thing here too. Let's see if I can find it.
She's probably pretty upset that she only got 465 likes out of that, you know. She was
Yeah,
probably shooting for something much higher.
this is what she wrote too. This is the new pope. His name is Robert Prevost. He's the first American pope. He's anti Trump, anti MAGA, pro open borders, and a total Marxist like Pope Francis. Catholics don't have anything good to look forward to. Just another Marxist puppet in the Vatican. And then the guy who reposted this wrote, "We like him already." At the top, it was a repost that someone else put up.
Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, I like him already. The fact that the new pope just sort of pisses Laura Loomer off,
That's
that,
enough.
that makes me
A
happy.
heck of a good start, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's that. That was the most recent news item. A lot of these go back to like 4 or 5 days ago, which feel like, again, every week feels like a year practically in the news
Yeah.
cycle.
We haven't even hit a year yet, have we?
No.
I haven't been keeping track, but I'm pretty sure we haven't.
Well, here's a cartoon. I just thought it was funny because it's his 100 Days of Winning, Tariffs for All, and the people around him. The great cartoon. These people around him are just like angry and poor and upset and need to get to work. And he's marching down the street as if it's, I don't know what. His birthday's coming up. That's something else we can talk about. I think I've got that. Here it is. Draft dodgers don't deserve a military parade.
That's nice.
That's a nice one. I thought that was good. The memes and the cartoons sometimes are a great way to communicate. I miss I'll probably edit this out, but I miss the Santa Cruz News. Remember that newspaper?
Yeah, you bet.
Man, I miss that paper.
I miss the cartoons by A. West.
Hmm. I don't know there are
He was
cartoons.
in there.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Maybe they've gone digital or something, but
I can't tell you.
anyway, draft dodgers don't deserve a parade, military parade, but he's going forth with it, I think, on his birthday. Oh, and that was another thing I'll put up next week, perhaps, is that they're saying on Trump's birthday, which is coming up in
Also,
June.
also Flag Day.
Oh,
That's
is
what
it?
he's trying to convince everybody it's about.
Oh, well, there's a campaign afoot to post pictures on Trump's birthday, everyone to flood social media with pictures of Barack Obama, which I think is a brilliant plan.
I got a better idea. Let's
But,
find out the parade route and flood the street so they can't move. Little American Tiananmen Square thing.
yeah, could get more confrontational. I'm sure that's going to be in DC. Oh, and here's another meme I thought was good. Remember when I spent $100 million on a military parade for my birthday? Oh, yeah, 'cause I didn't.
Because
Crazy.
he never would have.
Yeah, it's obscene. Well, here's some news in the economic world, sort of. The Target slashed their CEO, Brian Cornell's pay by 45% as their retail sales are going down the tubes. And some people are saying Target might go belly up.
There you go. This is what and I said this I said this probably on this program quite a while back. We do, as consumers, have a huge say in what happens, but we have to speak with our dollars,
I think
or the withholding of our dollars.
I think you're right. And this is evidence of that right here. I think you're exactly right. We need to, but it seems like it's very underreported in the mainstream media, and the business world doesn't want to let it out. I don't think they want to recognize somehow that we have power, because if they let on, oh my gosh, things are getting terrible because of the boycott, then the public will realize, hey, we have this enormous power,
Right.
you know. So this is interesting that some of our messages are getting through directly, and here it is.
Yeah, I mean, too
Oops.
bad there's not an app that tells you which stores contribute heavily to the mega movement, because we know Target and Walmart do, and we also know that Costco doesn't.
Right.
So if people knew that, perhaps they'd switch their allegiances, you know?
I mean, I know those things, but I mean, I wish we had a bigger scorecard that would
Yeah,
kind of keep track of that. That'd be an interesting, you know.
it's the media, which is largely controlled by the folks with billions of dollars, isn't putting out the stuff that happens that is positive for, I don't want to call it our side, but it kind of is our side.
Yeah. Well, anti-fascist, anti-Trump. I mean, what's going on? Government takeover, this coup,
Yeah.
anti-coup. We need to start some kind of, that would be an interest. There must be someone out there collating that information somewhere.
Well, that's why Trump wanted to defund NPR and PBS in the US. And that's why when the big rallies happened, was it the 5th or the 8th of April? We
Hmm.
didn't see much in the media about that. I saw a couple of things a couple of days later, but not like, wow, there was 3 million people in the streets and 2 million more in Europe, on the day, and they didn't cover it.
It's underreported for sure.
Yeah, and so that's what's going on. They underreport stuff like this so that people don't get the idea that they do have a voice in their
Exactly.
actions.
Well, Donald Trump said this about Christmas, and it directly
Oh,
relates to
God.
the economy, because he was saying that, oh, this Christmas people will have to get their kids just $2 and not $30. I mean, where the things he says, so let them play with $2.
Little Marie Antoinette-ish.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact that he's admitting that it's like this austerity thing we're having to go through, we're all going to have to just suffer a little bit to get through because the good times are down the road.
Where have I heard that before? Oh yeah, Reaganomics. I remember the what was it? Trickle down theory.
Yeah,
I
we just
kept
have to wait.
waiting.
Yeah, we
I
got to
couldn't
wait.
even find it drop.
We got to wait for the trickle down. Oh, here it is. Here's the PBS when they come for PBS. This character, Arthur. Remember Arthur? Ar
It's not coming to me.
okay,
Sharpshooter Arthur.
Arthur's making a fist. He's a beloved cartoon character on PBS, and I've watched many an episode of Arthur.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look
Arthur's
that up.
yeah, Arthur's is an animal. He's a young boy, but he's an animal, and I didn't know what animal he was. It's sort of hard to determine whether he's a dog, is he you know, a hamster, but I think they say that Arthur is actually an aardvark. But he doesn't look like an aardvark. But when Arthur, he's the most pleasant little kid, and his show is great. It's really heartwarming. But when Arthur makes a fist and gets angry, boy, you've done something to make, if you can make Arthur get mad.
And here's the thing: people need to realize the federal government can pull their funding, but then people can donate to PBS or NPR and write it off their taxes, just like making a donation to your school after the feds pull funding for what's happening in terms of research and stuff at major colleges around the US. There is a way around this.
There is, and I think that's super important. I think we should all be, you know, supporting PBS at this time because they are one of the last independent voices and kind of fair and balanced voices that we can rely upon. We need more news media like this. Yeah, PBS, support your local public broadcasting station, everyone, please. We're members. Another one about the economy, how to plan a trip to the USA. One, don't go. I think tourism is going to take a major hit. Yeah, I wonder, I'd love to see numbers on that. I mean, the tourism numbers or people coming in from overseas. I mean, Canadians are kind of boycotting the United States, I think. Or
Well,
there's,
they're also afraid.
well, it's fear is keeping a lot of people from visiting the United States of America.
Yeah,
And
well,
that's,
think about that, in terms of fear ruling what's going on.
well, this is fear backfiring because, the tourism dollars drying
Yeah,
up, I don't think was one of the expected outcomes that the Trump administration was looking for.
right.
But when you apply a lot of fear, it has its, you know, other than controlling people, it's going to repel a lot of people whose money you count on sometimes.
Right. Like the embassies in Saudi, when they said, okay, this can only be a singles post. Well, that really changed a lot. Businesses followed suit. Suddenly our school was less than half of what it was.
Right, because it becomes like a bachelor's camp kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah. People want their family.
And we went from 1,400 to 650, I think,
Yeah.
in a year.
This is what happens.
Don't go.
So this is happening. It might be old, but it's a timeless classic here, meme that this fellow, Glenn Carl, who's a former national CIA national intelligence officer and is responsible for evaluating foreign threats, says that my assessment is that Trump is actually working directly for the Russians. That's what his assessment is. So let's throw that into the mix. So the way he's hurting America is part of a Russian plan?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the military parade's totally a kind of a Russian thing, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe so he can,
Let's display our might.
I don't know, so the Russians can, so with that power vacuum overseas and NATO, wherever our powers were or are overseas, as they lessen, Russia moves in
Yeah.
and they grab that power because there's a power vacuum when America recedes from the,
Well,
you
they
know,
won't be the only ones moving. And as a matter of fact, I think China will be quicker to move in than Russia.
there's one more. Oh, here's the other article. This is the last article of the day. It's relating to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her remark after it says here AOC responds to Trump official after he threatened to prosecute her. And she said, "Come for me. Do I look like I care?" And I did a little research on it. I believe the border czar, as they call him, Tom Homan, who maybe you've seen before, was responding to AOC's making these sort of webinar things about knowing your rights for immigrants who come face to face with immigration authorities.
Yeah.
And she was instructing them what to do, what not to do in these situations. And Tom Homan's like, we're going to prosecute her for, telling people what to do, you know, which is just so ridiculous.
People should know their rights.
Yeah, people should know their rights. There's no, it's not against the law. Well, maybe they're trying to make it illegal to educate people. They don't want educated populace. They want people in the dark.
Yeah. That's that's why education is going the way it's going.
Yeah,
They don't want educated populace because they don't win elections when the populace is educated.
right. I mean, some of these videos I see of ICE people abducting people off the streets are just so horrific. I don't know if you've seen any of these this footage, and they were always wearing masks, and other people are trying to intercede and say, "Hey, show us a warrant," and they basically say we don't have to show a warrant. They don't have to identify who they are, and they handcuff the people and take them away. It's such a helpless feeling, you know. But I think it's that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is educating people in that regard is a good thing.
I'm with you. Well,
So,
I've attended several talks on what to do about ICE coming into a public place. And as I mentioned, I think it was last week, I created a poster based on a few things that I had seen, and I I really think I should just print it up and distribute it for free as a public service.
yeah, you know, you tried to send it to me last week, and it never came through the chat. I mean, it came through, but when I clicked on it, I never got to see it.
Oh, I'll email it to you. How's
Yeah,
that?
yeah, do that. Send it out again. And I want to do some research. My geekiness. I want to go and try to find these Know Your Rights webinars that she's put together to kind of
Oh
take a
yeah,
look at them,
excellent.
and maybe we can talk about them, feature some still frames from them. Might be kind of interesting. That's
Definitely.
that's all I have for this week.
All right.
We'll see what
Well,
next week holds for us. Hey, thank you for being here, Eddie. Always a pleasure to have you aboard our show, and sort of wrapping up what's going on in the news. And I'm really liking just grabbing these memes and showing those out, because from that you basically get a picture of what's going on in the country in some strange way.
yeah.
And it's maybe more interesting to our viewers and more fun to talk about rather than going too deep.
All right.
Hey, thank you, Eddie, for being here. Have a great day.
You
Send my-
too. Get out there and don't forget to wear your sunscreen. It's going to be warm today.
Yeah, it will be. Take care, and thank you for anyone listening to A Bold and Distant Future. Stay strong, everyone.
Adios.
Bye bye.